Regional Middle East Championship, certified by FIA 2023. We are Feline Wang and Jake Sanson, and we're here for the season opener at the Dubai Autodrome.
各位观众，大家好，欢迎来到我们的直播现场。即将进行的是国际汽联中东区域方程式锦标赛2023赛季第一回合的正赛了。我是 Feline， 在我身边的是 Jake。那么我们现在所在的位置就是迪拜国际赛车场。So Jake, tell us what's new for this season.
It's definitely going to be a busier year than 2022. We have 28 cars on the grid across 8 different teams, and we have a third race circuit at Kuwait Motor Town. We'll be there for the second and third rounds of the championship. So 15 races across the year and as ultra competitive as ever.
好，那么在新的赛季呢，我们目前是有28辆赛车，8个车队参与到比赛当中。在整个赛季呢，会有5个比赛周和15场的正赛。同时呢，我们会在第2和第3个比赛周来到科威特的全新的赛道进行比赛。那么这个比赛周也是非常的激烈。那么首先呢，让我们期待一下这一比赛周的比赛吧。
So, without further ado, let's go racing.
And what better venue to start this season than the Dubai Autodrome in the heart of Motor City, in one of the world's most exciting and vibrant cities. There are 3 races to come this weekend to get the ball rolling for this epic campaign. Worth keeping an eye on how crosswinds and fading light are going to affect the flow of race 1. It's particularly competitive in 2023. As we mentioned before, 28 cars on the grid around this 5.39-kilometre circuit, which has always provided a lot of drama in years gone by. 2023 is likely to be no exception at all. Qualifying has definitely thrown up a little bit of an interesting battle up at the sharp end of the field in Formula Regional Middle East. And we've got all sorts to come. Let's talk you through what happened in 2022.
Lights out here at Yas Marina, and we are underway with the opening round. Jack Crawford stalled off position number 2 on the front row of the grid. Let's hope the field gets past.
great to have you back for the championship. So what will be your approach for this race?
Well, yeah, of course, it's good to be back. We'll see. I think it's not going to be an easy race. We're starting on pole. It was a very good quali one. So we'll see how the race pace is, and then we'll see if we have to defend or we have to just manage.
那么我刚刚问到 Mini 呢，他对这场比赛有什么样的这个期待呢？因为他上个赛季也来到了这个我们的杯赛当中，那么他提到呢，他很高兴的能回来比赛，同时呢拿到了这个杆位，他也对有非常好的期待。那么呢，我们也期待我们的车手们都有一个好成绩。Back to you guys.
Well, a very interesting start to proceedings. Great to hear from Gabriele Mini. Last year, of course, 3 wins in Dubai and 1 in Abu Dhabi gave Arthur Leclerc a worthy championship title ahead of Pepe Marti and Isaac Hajar. Pepe is back, the other 2 are not. And with Gabriele Mini and Dino Beganovic also back in town and a whole host of rookies to snatch the spoils away, 2023 could be the best season yet for Formula Regional in the Middle East. It's definitely been an interesting start to proceedings. Gabriele Mini and Andrea Kimi Antonelli have started the ball rolling. The 2 Italians have put themselves onto the front row of the starting grid after an epic run in time qualifying. Gabriele Mini, a driver that you'll know from last year's campaign. He completed almost an entire season and got a race win under his belt last year as well, and was 4th in the championship standings. But the man alongside him, people are still getting to know him a little bit. But what an amazing amount of success he has had in such a short space of time. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, 2-time European karting champion, winner in ADAC and Italian F4 last year, and won the gold medal for F4 for Italy in the FIA Motorsport Games last October. What an amazing young talent this 16-year-old Mercedes F1 Junior is turning out to be. Matthias Sagazeta, the Peruvian, lining up on the second row of the grid alongside the Swede Dino Beganovic, who of course was a race winner last year here as well. Rafael Kamara, who was in F4 UAE last season, steps up to the big time in Formula Regional in 2023, alongside the Frenchman Sami Megatunif, who has already had a very decent run in F4 and now steps up to Formula Regional. Likewise, Sebastian Ogard, the Danish driver, lining up alongside another F4 convert, Aidan Neat, who is producing some very solid performances out in the Middle East these days. Jack Crawford, the Red Bull young gun, lining up 9th on the starting grid after a very tricky time in qualifying. And alongside him, Nikita Bedrin, the man famous for finishing an F4 UAE race with a broken wrist. It's certainly all mended now, and there he is on the outside of row 5. Taz Ibrahimovic, the Thai driver, doing an excellent job so far in his in his Formula Regional swan song. He moves up alongside Josh Duvek on the 6th row of the starting grid. And it's Marty Boyer and Nikhil Bora, 2 drivers who know the world of karting very well and have stepped up out of F4 and into the big show. Francesco Bracci alongside Lorenzo Fruscia. And then we have Pepe Marti, having had a really difficult time in qualifying. He's way down in 17th on the grid alongside the Hungarian Levi Revej. Brad Benavides, who many people will know from the world of F3, and Sebastian Montoya has just stepped into the Red Bull Junior program. He lines up 20th, a very tough qualifying for him. Rafael Villagomez, the Mexican, alongside the Korean talent Michael Shin. And then Han Chen-Yu lining up on the 12th row of the grid alongside Niels Kuhlen, who has made a massive jump into Formula Regional. Great to see the Dutch talent here in the UAE. And then Giovanni Mascio alongside Daniel Maluvyov. And at the back of the grid, Taylor Barnard, having had his times from qualifying disallowed. So he will have to make progress from the back of the grid. And it's going to be a fascinating journey for him from the tail end to the front. So the contenders are getting themselves up to speed once again. It's going to be a fascinating challenge for all of the drivers as they will try and work their way forward. But obviously, there is a lot at stake in this first race of the weekend. To have so much on the table, they don't want to leave anything to doubt. And with 2 Italians on the front row of the grid, with a massive fan base as well, Gabriele Mini and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, a lot of people tuning in to see how they kick off their 2023 motorsport campaigns. Kimi Antonelli is one of the biggest fan bases in the world for a driver of his age, and it's very, very well appreciated and very deserving. He's a driver I just keep bumping into, whether it's at Paul Ricard for the Motorsport Games, whether it's hanging out with the family team in Mugello in Italian GT, or just coming back to visit his mates in the world of karting. But this is his first big shot in Formula Regional, his first race, and he's on the front row of the grid. It doesn't get much more pressure than that. But Kimi Antonelli isn't equal to it. Zagazeta and Beganovic on the second row behind the Italians. Then Kamara and Megatunev, Ugar and Neat, Crawford and Bedrin, Verstappen and Dufek. Then Boyer and Barnard, although Barnard is of course now down at the back of the grid, so it's Boyer and Bora. And Grassi and Klusha, Martin and Revenge, Benavides and Montoya from Villa Gomez and Shin. And then it is Hahn, Kulen, Mashio, Mavlutiov. And at the back of the grid, it is, of course, Taylor Barnard. Rather sadly, there was meant to be an additional contender in the ranks. The eighth car for Formula Regional should have been the Chinese driver for R&B Racing, Wang Zhongwei. Unfortunately, he's had mechanical problems all the way through the day and has not been able to get himself into position anymore. So, unfortunately, a big difficulty as the contenders are still trying to make their way forward. So the cars are making their way round on the formation lap. And up to the high end of the starting grid, everybody now in position, hoping that this is going to be the run that will give them a first win of the season. And it's all down to the battle to the first corner between Gabriele Mini and Kimi Antonelli. High-Tech Grand Prix versus Mumbai Falcons Racing. Matija Zagazeta and Dino Beganovic, Rafael Kamara and Sami Megatunev. Last year, the Mumbai Falcons triumphed in the team's championship thanks to the great run from Arthur Leclerc and his stablemates. Well, can history repeat itself here in 2023? Gabriele Mini, look at his positioning on the start line. The High-Tech Grand Prix driver, in his first pole position of 2023, has moved the car just slightly to the right side so that he can get himself a great start to pull across on Kimi Antonelli. But Kimi is one of those drivers that doesn't get intimidated easily. Despite being only 16 years of age, Kimi Antonelli is a real tiger. So the cars line up in their final positions. Taylor Barnard takes up his residence at the back of the grid, and the cars are ready to go racing. The lights will come on, and when they go out, we will be racing for the first time in 2023 in Formula Regional Middle East Championship, certified by FIA. Lights come on, wait for it, and we will go racing in Dubai. And it's a good start from Gabriele Mini. No problem at all with that one. Pulls right across, keeps it nice and tidy. Kimi Antonelli's got a good launch though as well. And Gabriele Mini is swarming around, weaving from side to side, trying to keep him at bay. It's a good start too from Beganovic. He's going to make the launch on the inside of Zagazeta as they run to the first corner. But Zagazeta in the RHGP car is going to be able to hold that through. No problems at all at the start by the look of it. 2 to 3 corners in, and it's already looking good for Mini. But up to second place, nobody's going to challenge Kimi Antonelli yet. And Kimi Antonelli already looks like he's going to try and threaten Gabriele Mini. So an excellent run so far. The drivers continue to battle in full pelt. So it's a great start for Gabriele Mini in the number 53 High-Tech Grand Prix car. They come off the hairpin and down the back straight. A really solid effort and a really strong run. And a couple of drivers running wide down that run for the back straight. But so far so good, as everybody still trying to keep themselves into position. A bit of a run now from Beganovic, trying to come around the outside of Zagazeta. And he's going to go the long way round. There's a tiny little bit of a love tap. But somehow Beganovic manages to catch the back end before it throws him off the road. And Beganovic gets in a third. But it looks like Zagazeta's been able to get him back on the exit. Or is that Rafael Kamara? No, it is Kamara. So no problems for Beganovic into third place. The Swedish driver from Linköping is now doing a great job. Lives, of course, these days in Maranello, as he is part of the Ferrari Young Driver Academy. But it's Mini, Antonelli, Beganovic, Zagazeta and Kamara as they run through. Everybody else just trying to stay out of harm's way on the opening lap. Tazin Vervazak's had a nightmare opening lap, by the way. He's tumbled all the way back to about 18th position, I think. So Tazin Vervazak has not had a good run, nor has Jack Crawford or Sami Megatunev, actually. They've all lost positions on the opening lap. So everybody else is just trying to make up progress. Taylor Barnard, though, has gone like a cat out of a bag. 27th to 17th in one lap. Very good work indeed for Taylor Barnard, who now finds himself in the PHM racing car. There he is, in fact. So Taylor Barnard has made up 10 places in one lap. Well, if you ever needed any indication as to how good Taylor Barnard is, it's right there, black and white. So through they come. Mini, Antonelli, Bogdanovic, Zagazeta, Camara and Ogard. Sami Megatunic runs in 7th in front of Eden Neat. Then it's Bedrin, Josh Dufek, Jack Crawford and Nikhil Bora. And we're going to get a replay. Now this is in the middle of the final sector and we're going to see Taz and Fuzak lose out, I think, here on what ended up being a rather cutthroat end to the opening lap. That really caused him some difficulties. But we're on the back straight once again. And Mini ahead of Antonelli. High-Tech in front of Mumbai Falcons. Bogdanovic still there in 3rd position again. So a very solid run for everybody as they continue to make the progress. But a really solid battle. This is a braking zone overtaking move. Is that Brad Benavides trying to get through for the Hyderabad Blackbirds MP car? Trying to tuck his way through on the inside of Taz. The Vivazak has gone all the way down to 19th in the end. Meanwhile, wheel to wheel, that's Lorenzo Flusha. Battling away there with, I think, Francesco Braschi. Pepe Marti is in the mix of all of that as well, having had a nightmare start to his season. But certainly for the High-Tech Grand Prix team up front, Gabriele Mini has picked up where he left off at the end of February last year. Diving down the inside. Mumbai Falcons having another go there with Lorenzo Flusha. The door is going to be left wide open unless the Spaniard doesn't jump across. So Flusha trying to keep himself in the hunt. But a really excellent battle at the front end of the field as well as in the mid, and that is the 62 we watch going through. That's Brad Benavides dueling with Rafael Villagomez and Han Yu. Sebastian Montoya is all the way down there as well, in 23rd. That's diving through with Bogdanovic on Antonelli. It's certainly Mumbai Falcon on Mumbai Falcon, and I think it might well be Bogdanovic on Antonelli. Antonelli's tried his best to hang on to it, but Bogdanovic has got plenty of experience left over from last year. Follow me, says Bogdanovic, the Swede in 2nd place. A very solid run of things continuing here, but Kimi Antonelli just can't hang on to 2nd position. It is Dino Bogdanovic that manages to make the move and gets through. So Gabriele Mini leads the way from the Swede, Dino Bogdanovic, then Kimi Antonelli from Matthias Zagazeta, Kamara, Ogard, Megatunic, Neat, Bedrin, Dufek and Crawford. So Jack Crawford is going to be spitting feathers here down in 11th place. What on earth am I doing this far down? Come on, guys, we need to push this forward. He's going to desperately try and make up some progress. 22.5 minutes left on the clock, so he's obviously got to try and make something of this. Very tricky early stages of the race as everybody just trying to keep themselves in the hunt. No battle too small as far as these guys are concerned. But the challenge is still very real as they continue to make steady work of it. So still the contenders make good work of things at the moment. So Gabriele Mini still out in front of Kimi Antonelli, then Zagazeta. He's now ahead of Bogdanovic apparently. So Zagazeta has been able to get past Bogdanovic again. Is that the case? No, it's not. You can see for yourself that Zagazeta is actually behind the two Mumbai Falcons cars now. He's still trying to make up for lost ground. But now, this is going to be fascinating because Bogdanovic has managed to get back into the slipstream of Gabriele Mini. He's only half a second or so away, so he may still get another opportunity. Meanwhile, going defensive, that looks like a Hyderabad Blackbirds machine. That's Sami Mikhatuniv trying to keep Aidan Neat and Josh Dufek at bay. So Aidan Neat, the British driver for Prema Racing, trying to dive in on the inside. He's going to go aggressive. He has to hang back, though. Joshua Dufek for PHM Racing is right behind him. And then his teammate, Nikita Bedrin, finds himself in P10. A big dive on the inside of Dufek. Dufek's going to launch on the inside of Aidan Neat. And Neat isn't going to give him any space. He doesn't have to. Good defence from Aidan Neat. Josh Dufek will come back at him. But this is a really good start to the middle part of the race. This is when you really have to be very careful how hard you push it. How hard do you work the tyres? Dufek's got a good run off the hairpin. He'll get his chance. Neat is trying to squeeze him off the racetrack there. He's just about got enough to make it count, though. So Neat is going to let him have the apex of the corner, but he'll try and get him back on the switcheroo. But Josh Dufek is there, covering the line. Aidan Neat coming back at him, though. You can see for yourself that it's very tight between them, and Neat is going to have the inside line. No, you don't, Josh Dufek. Excellent work further up, though. This is further back. This is the PHM twins of Dufek and Bedrin. Actually, I think this might be even further back, actually. Still, they battle away. A very tricky scenario as they continue to battle through. This is a replay of how Neat held off the move. Well, we just saw the replay, I should say, about Neat held off the move. But as you can see, it's mixed up a little bit because Neat had his little duel. And then coming into the fight came the other PHM of Bedrin. So all of a sudden, we've got Bedrin, Dufek, and Neat now having that duel down the pit straight. It's not done yet. Neat's trying himself back on terms, but he's not the only one having a duel. We've got Bora Barnard and Boyer in the mix there. Fair play to Taylor Barnard. He's currently in 13th. Started back in 27th on the grid. So Barnard has gone through half the field plus one. First two positions. Matthias Zagazeta is third. Rafael Camara in front of Kimi Antonelli now, actually. That's interesting. Not quite sure when that happened on the last lap, but Rafa Camara has managed to get past Kimi Antonelli in the Italians' first ever Formula Regional race. There is your leader, though, Gabriele Mini. And Levi Revege has actually managed to get the car going again and bring it back into the pits. Now, that's good news, because that means we shouldn't be behind the safety car for much longer. So Levi Revege, they'll probably get him into the pits, they'll reboot things, and indeed, safety car in at the end of this lap is the message we get on the timing screen. So that didn't last too long. And there is Levi Revege making his way down pit road. So whether Revege is going to be able to rejoin or not remains to be seen, but he's managed to get himself out of harm's way. And now the race can continue with the safety car coming in at the end of this lap. That is very good news indeed. So there is the safety car, and you can see how dark it's getting quite quickly. This is the problem. We didn't anticipate this because we didn't anticipate quite as much cloud cover as we've got. It's not so much that it gets dark too early to hold the races, because there usually is a decent amount of sunlight at this time, but with it being ultra cloudy, it's actually a lot darker than we first envisaged it was going to be at this time of the day. So, Gabriele Mini and Dino Beganovic are first and second. Then it's Matthias Zagazeta in front of Rafa Camara and Kimi Antonelli. Sebastian Ogard in front of Sami Megatuniv and Josh Dufek. Then Nikita Bedrin and Aidan Neat. Jack Crawford is ahead of Taylor Barnard up to P12. Nikhil Bora in front of Mari Boyer. Then Lorenzo Fluscia and Francesco Braschi from Taz Vivazak and Pepe Marti. Rafael Villagomez and Sebastian Montoya, then Brad Benavides, Han Chen-Yu, Giovanni Mascio, Michael Shin, Niels Kulin, and Daniel Mavlyutov. But we are going racing this time by. So Gabriele Mini is backing up the pack, hoping to work his way forward from Dino Beganovic, who is going to put a lot of pressure on him nice and early. So as they get themselves up to speed, it's going to be a good restart needed by Dino Beganovic if he wants to go for victory, to try and get one over on Gabriele Mini. But we are back to green racing here at Dubai. So Gabriele Mini leads the way then from Dino Beganovic and Matthias Zagazeta, the Peruvian for the RHGP team, running in third place. The leading rookie at the moment is the Brazilian Rafael Camara in front of Kimi Antonelli and Sebastian Ogier. 10 rookies in the field then throughout this 2023 grid. Side by side. That's got very close for comfort. Goodness me, the high-techs having a really tight run as they go wheel to wheel. Now that's a high-tech and a PHM by the look of it. I do apologise. So that looks like it could be Jack Crawford and Taylor Barnard going wheel to wheel. Taylor Barnard making no hesitation of getting the move done there on Jack Crawford. So that is continuing on an incredible run so far. Going from dead last. Clearly Taylor Barnard's got his dander up and is just charging his way through the field. So an excellent run so far. And it just continues without hesitation for Taylor Barnard. Great racing so far. And there's still a fair way to go down into the braking zone. Couple of overtaking moves being attempted here. That's on the inside of one of the pinnacle VARs. I think that's Braschi versus Vivazak. Trying to work their way through. A great run as they come up the top of the hill. This is a very tough circuit on tyres, but also a very tough circuit on suspensions, especially if you get it slightly wrong. That's one of the Mumbai Falcons going out wide. That's got to be Lorenzo Fluscia, who is currently duelling with the Hyderabad Blackbird of Murray Boyer. Murray Boyer holding it, but here comes Fluscia. Dives. And he's through. Nicely handled from Lorenzo Fluscia. Murray Boyer has no response just yet. Works his way through the apex of the right-hander and down to the final hairpin. So Mini's having a great run. Beganovic in second, Zagazeta is third, then Camara, Antonelli, Ogard, Megatunif, Dufek, Bedrin and Neat. Barnard is there with Crawford, then Bora and Fluscia. First warning for track limits at turn 12. That is for Lorenzo Fluscia. So obviously that move he made on Murray Boyer just caught the eye of the officials a little bit there. And that's fairly understandable. But as you can see, we've still got a fair bit of time to go in this one. There's a lot that could still happen. Drivers are still going very well indeed in the middle of the pack. We just had a little bit of wheel to wheel again. All the way through this field. Mini and Beganovic still together. Beganovic is only 3/10 back from Gabriele Mini. His job is very clear. Do not let Gabriele Mini get too far ahead. He's got to try and give him the opportunity to cut his way through. He's in the slipstream down the back straight. Zagazeta's got a reasonable run ahead of Camara and Antonelli. And here we go, side by side a little further back. This is just outside the top 10. This is Taylor Barnard trying to work his way forward again, I do believe. He's crawling all over the back of Aidan Neat. Hasn't quite been able to make the overtake. Down to 12th, as we know, of course, is Jack Crawford. Lost out to Taylor Barnard on the previous lap. So now we're going to get to see what Lorenzo Fluscia can do to shake off Murray Boyer for a second lap. But at the same time, he's trying to close up on Jack Crawford, who has lost out to Nikhil Bora. Bora is actually going wheel to wheel with Neat and Bedrin, with Barnard in the mix there as well. Surely that's not Barnard having already got past. Yes, it is. So Nikita Bedrin's lost out to his teammate Taylor Barnard, who is now taking on Sami Megatunif. Taylor Barnard, clearly with the red mist, is now throwing all caution to the winds and just charging his way through the field like cannon fire. Oh, and a bit of a run wide from Aidan Neat. Neat had a bit of pressure there. So he's managed to get the car back on the racetrack again. Look at Beganovic really charging down in behind Gabriele Mini. Sixth place for Ogard, then Dufek. Oh, contact! Oh, that's gone very badly wrong, and I think Dufek's been caught. Oh, Sami Megatuniv and Nikita Bedrin come together, and that's a big one for Sami Megatuniv. Safety car instantly called. Sami Megatuniv could not slow the car down. Goodness me, that is a big shunt for Sami Megatuniv. He really did not deserve to have that. They just got too close together, a little bit of contact with wheels, and that's all it took. Nikita Bedrin and Josh Dufek both running wide, but managing to get through turn one. But Sami Megatuniv, big contact. Let's have another look at it. Look, this is just what happens when two wheels interlock. They're at big speed at that point. Getting into the braking zone, bang! Nothing you can do. And poor Josh Dufek, he actually just got tagged as Sami Megatuniv came up behind him. Bedrin had just about enough time to slow the car down, but Megatuniv can't slow down into the wall. That's a big one. And of course, the first point of reference, though, is that Sami Megatuniv can walk away. Thank goodness for the halo. That's all I can say. There's Nikita Bedrin. Unfortunately, his car has gone no further than turn one. And what do we often say in the world of motorsport? Safety cars breed safety cars. So a little bit too close for comfort there between Sami Megatuniv and Nikita Bedrin. And unfortunately, they do actually hit each other. So that's a big difficulty. Fortunately, though, he did manage to get away from it. So at least we can breathe a sigh of relief and say that Sami Megatuniv walked away. There's the front wing of Sami Megatuniv's car. But yeah, at that point, once Sami Megatuniv is basically a passenger, there's not really a lot you can do about it. Now that has actually dropped Josh Dufek down as well, because he just got tagged by the incident as he was going through turn one. And I was very impressed with Josh Dufek that he was actually able to save that rather than have that tip into a spin. And you'll never guess what that's done. That's put Taylor Barnard up into 7th position. There's time yet for him to get into the top 5. Taylor Barnard is now from 27th on the grid to 7th. Wow, that is just amazing. But look at the tyre marks that have been left by Sami Megatuniv's car trying to slow down and not go into the barrier. He was on the brakes, but at that point, you're just a passenger. There's no way of getting out of it. Now, fortunately, that's at turn one, and the recovery crews are pretty quick at reaching the scene of an incident there. So I don't think this will be a ridiculously long time behind the safety car. And we've got about 7 minutes 45 plus the additional lap. So there's still a bit of time to come. This is the last on-track action of the day here in Dubai. So obviously the contenders want to make sure that they finish this race in fine style. And there is a very brave marshal. The Orange Army can never be underestimated. They are the real heroes of this sport. Without them, we are nothing. Good job, mate. Brilliant. Good work. They risk their lives, they volunteer, they give of their time without a lot of reward or credit. But without them, motor racing just would not happen. Good job, guys. Doing a great work out there. So, Gabriele Mini leads the way from Dino Beganovic and Mattia Segazeta. Rafael Kamara is 4th, in front of Kimi Antonelli. Sebastian Ogard is in 6th. Taylor Barnard, 7th position from the back of the grid. That's amazing. Well done, Taylor. 8th place from Josh Dufek. Aidan Neate is currently 9th. Jack Crawford is 10th. And then it is Flusha in front of Bora and Boya. Brashi and Marti. Townsend de Vivazak ahead of Sebastian Montoya. Then Villa Gomez, Han Benavides, Machio, Shin, Kulan and Mavlyutov. Retirements, though, Sami Megatuniv and Nikita Bedrin. And after his incident earlier on, Levi Revej came to a stop. Who's that going slowly? That's the number 10 going slowly. That's Dino Beganovic. Oh, no, my apologies. That's the 18 going slowly. Oh, goodness me. When the screen doesn't quite give you what you need to see. That, unfortunately, is the R&B Racing of Han Chen Yu. So, big disappointment for the Chinese driver there. He was in the midfield when that happened, so he's clearly had some kind of misfire or maybe a gearbox malfunction, whatever it might be. And you can see the marshals going to work there at turn 1 to remove Sami Megatuniv's car. And again, The rescue crew is going to work very quickly, so hopefully we're only going to be behind the safety car for another lap. There isn't a lot of debris on the circuit itself or by the circuit itself to get rid of, other than that one car which has now been put on the back of the low loader. Now into the pits, we've got somebody coming down pit road by the look of it. I want to try and make out who that is. It's one of the Hyderabad Blackbirds by the look of it, looking out the window. I think that's Brad Benavides, is it? Or is it Mari Boyer? But certainly one of the Hyderabad Blackbirds. It is Brad Benavides, the American. So unfortunately, Brad Benavides making his way down pit road. Not entirely sure why, because he's under safety car. Is this going to be, I can't do any more with this car in this race, we're going to retire? Or have they got a setup change? Because obviously your fastest laps in race 1 set the grid for race 2. So there's a little bit of percentage to getting the car operational again and then getting out there and setting the pace. Because it could obviously buy you an opportunity in race 2. But certainly for the moment, you can see how dark it's getting. This is quite problematic. We're only a little way behind the schedule we originally set out, but also the clouds being overhead in the pattern that they are currently is not expected. So we should have had a little bit more sunlight than this, but we've only got 4 minutes to go. So we don't have to wait around for too much longer to see what will unfold. And it looks to me like Han Shenyu has actually got the car going again and has managed to pull it to the back of the grid once more. So he has dropped to 24th place, I'm afraid. But it does look like he'll be able to finish the race at least. Safety car in at the end of this lap. There you go. Good work from the crews. But Mini, Beganovic, Zagazeta, Kamara and Antonelli. That's your top 5 from Ogard, Barnard, Dufek, Neat and Crawford. And we are going to go racing this time by. Safety car in at the end of this lap, says the timing screen. And there go the lights out. So the drivers just getting themselves up to speed again, weaving from side to side, trying to get a little bit of heat into the tyres and brakes so that you can make that move into turn 1, full of confidence in what the car's going to give you. And it's a big stop into turn 1. You do carry a lot of speed, but you do also have to be very, very careful how you take the trajectory of that opening radius in turn 1, because it can get out wide. And this is where things need to be pretty smart. So here we go. Weaving from side to side. Mini in front of Beganovic, trying to get a good restart. He wants to outfox the Swede here. They're not going to have a lot of time to go racing. So I reckon we're only really... Oh, there's a car slowing down at the back end of the field. That's one of the high-techs, I think, slowing. And it's going to join its stablemate towards the back of the grid. I wonder if that's Sebastian Montoya having problems. So difficulties then for high-tech in this race at the back of the grid, but also having a little bit of a headache at the front of the grid. Because now Gabriele Mini is going to have some pressure here from Dino Beganovic and Mattia Sagazeta. And we go down the main straight. Green lights. So we're racing again, 2 minutes to go. And here comes the battle straight away. This looks like Taylor Barnard. He has an opportunity. He's going to try and make his beat on Sebastian Ogard. He's going to go the long way round at turn 1, I think. He's going to wait for the undercut. Sebastian Ogard drifts out wide. Taylor Barnard's got good exit speed. Can he go right round the outside? Surely not. Taylor Barnard has to wait, but he is fired up. He really wants this. Meanwhile, for third place, the last step on the podium is being hustled between Zagazeta, Kamara and Antonelli. And there's the move. Barnard's got him. Brilliant work. Taylor Barnard slices on the inside of Sebastian Ogard into 6th position. Times it to perfection as well. From 27th and dead last on the grid, Taylor Barnard has worked his way up to P6. That is a monstrous comeback. And it's not over yet. They've still got a lap and a half, potentially even 2 laps, depending on where the leader is when they cross the line. A big lunge from the Mumbai Falcon. Kamara has a look at Zagazeta. And further back, that's Flusha and Neat going wheel to wheel. Flusha holds on in front of Aidan Neat for the moment. A little bit further back, we've got some battles as well. This is going to go down to the wire for a couple of these positions. Car 52 is under investigation for a safety car procedure infringement. That is Jack Crawford of the High-Tech Grand Prix team. Meanwhile, diving up the inside, trying to look for the bid. This is Antonelli on Kamara, and then Taylor Barnard behind. Big lockup! That's a massive mistake from Josh Dufek, but he catches it. Good comeback. Flusha can't get through. Ironic that it's Dufek and Flusha that are currently battling away. These two have been childhood friends, and now they are racing each other wheel to wheel around the Dubai Autodrome, with the battle raging. And now this is for the lead. Beganovic is going to try and get wheel to wheel with Gabriele Mini to the first corner. Going to go round the outside. Beganovic was the master of this last year. No, you don't, says Mini. Chops back across. Will not give him the space. Final lap begins. And so now Dino Beganovic has never been more motivated to get past Gabriele Mini. He's all over the back of him. This is going to be intense. Beganovic trying to go the long way round through turn one. He pulled that move off a couple of times last year in superb fashion, but he's not quite able to get the move done on Gabriele Mini this time. Zagazeta, meanwhile, the Peruvian, trying to hang on in front of Kamara and Antonelli, with Barnard waiting in the wings in P6. Here comes Beganovic again. Have another crack at him. Mini pulls the car across to the middle. Which way will Beganovic go? Will he go left or will he go right? He's going to go left of him. Down to the braking zone. He's going to try and chop across. Mini holds the line. Beganovic will try and cut back across. Beganovic has got a good run. Mini's got the inside line. He holds it. And there's battles between the two Mumbai Falcons teammates behind them. Beganovic trying to squeeze Mini. Mini's still on the inside line. Dino's going to back out. Mini's going to go wide. Beganovic is going to get back alongside him once again. You've got to leave him a bit of space. You don't have to leave too much, but you've got to leave a bit of space to his right. Mini's going to defend. Beganovic will commit. He's going to go right round the outside. Mini's going to cover it. Beganovic will try and get back on the undercut. No, you don't, says Gabriele Mini. Beganovic is still there. This isn't done. One final chop into the final turn. Mini holds the middle. Beganovic goes round the outside. Mini will hold it to the inside line. Beganovic can get a sprint out of the final turn. He's going to give it everything he's got to the line. It's Mini by 14 thousandths of a second. Boom. Thank you and good night. Gabriele Mini will not be denied here in Dubai. Wow, what an end to the first race of the season. That might have been the closest finish in Formula Regional Middle East history. What a race, what a showdown. Gabriele Mini and Dino Beganovic throwing 7 bells at each other for the best part of a lap. Massive, massive racing. That is how it's supposed to look, ladies and gentlemen. They gave each other just enough space to be clean, but not enough space to be kind. That was great racing. 2023 is alive and kicking in the Middle East between Gabriele Mini and Dino Beganovic. The two favourites for the title go mano a mano around Dubai Autodrome. What a start to the year. And can we just point out, the driver of the day has got to be Taylor Barnard. He finishes P5. Magic. Absolutely magic. Motorsport at its best. And that was such a scintillating battle. An absolutely sensational run all the way to... Wait a minute. Is this race over? I thought it was. It was the final lap a moment ago. The final lap board came out. They're still going. Well, the checkered flag is out now. I'm so sorry, but it looked to me as though it was done. Apparently, the race was still going. Well, it looked like there was contact there on the final lap by the look of it. That's going to need a clean-up job. But it said on my timing screen that we were on the final lap there. But apparently not. Dino Beganovic has managed to steal the victory. Zagazeta in second, and Barnard unbelievably gets the podium. Antonelli is 4th from Camara, and Gabriele Mini drops to 6th position. I am so confused. I do apologise. I genuinely saw the final lap board come out the lap before. Wow. A bit of a shock there, folks, but Dino Beganovic is actually the winner of the first race of the season. Matthias Zagazeta 2nd, Taylor Barnard 3rd. It's Mumbai Falcons, RHGP and PHM Racing in the top 3 positions. Then the Mumbai Falcons duo of Antonelli and Camara. So Taylor Barnard goes from 27th on the grid to 3rd position. It's an even better charge through the field than we first thought. That is absolutely extraordinary. Beganovic wins it. Incident between car 53 and 10 at turn 16 under investigation. I'm not in the slightest bit surprised. Wow, that's between Gabriele Mini and the number 10 car of Dino Beganovic. That is going to be investigated post-race. So this may not be over yet. Wow. An extraordinary battle. An extraordinary opening race. And it's Beganovic that takes the win. Zagazeta in 2nd. And Taylor Barnard goes from dead last to 3rd position. An absolutely stunning opening race. I will hold the hand up and apologise. I went with what was on the timing screen. It said the last lap had begun, but clearly it hadn't. So, Beganovic, Zagazeta and Barnard is your podium, and what a podium that is. But Dynamite Dino is back, and he has taken a worthy victory there. Dynamite Dino in front of Matthias Zagazeta and Taylor Barnard from the back of the grid to P3 and takes the rookie win with it. Any racing driver who says, oh, well, I'm starting last, there's no point, we'll just have to see what happens. Go to the Taylor Barnard School of Hard Knocks, because that boy will show you anything's possible. That is just astonishing. What an amazing race that was. Absolutely sensational. What an end to a fabulous opening gambit. Mumbai Falcons takes the win in the first race of the year for Dynamite Dino. 2nd place for Matthias Zagazeta for RHGP and 3rd for Taylor Barnard for PHM from the back of the grid. What a way to start the year. Dino Beganovic, triumphant. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Great scenes. And the Mumbai Falcons are victorious. There must have been a timing screen glitch. I apologise for getting it slightly wrong. But Dino's the winner. The celebrations start in earnest now. Matthias Zagazeta, the Peruvian, doing a grand job for 2nd place there as well. Never really gave up. And Taylor Barnard stays out of trouble, charges like thunder, and grabs 3rd position. Majestic. The comeback kid in 3rd position, and that is the best way to start the season. Triumph through adversity for Taylor Barnard. Let's not take away from that mammoth performance. The British driver stuns the paddock. Last to 3rd in the space of 28 minutes and a bonus lap. Phenomenal. A phenomenal job from Taylor Barnard from last to 3rd. You would never have put money on that. Well, down in pit lane, Feline is going to be able to grab a word with our race winner, Dino Beganovic, in fantastic fashion, charging his way to the victory. What a drive. Well, Feline Wang is going to go find Dynamite Dino. We might have some time as well to grab Matthias Zagazeta and Taylor Barnard as well, but there's some stories to unravel here. This is going to be a fascinating interview.
Hey Dino, congratulations on what such amazing race. You started from P4 and finished P1. Tell us about the battle.
Yeah, we did the right strategy for our weekend, and we executed it well. I mean, an amazing start of the year. Before going back to Europe, it's great to be here. I've been here this is my third year, so no, it's great to be here. And I think the race was epic, and I think we gave the fans a bit of excitement as well. So no, I'm very happy with the race, and I can't thank the team enough for the great work.
Okay, thank you. 那么刚刚呢，我问到 Dino， 他这场比赛他是从第4位发车的，在第1位完赛。那么他也提到呢，他们采用了一个非常正确的策略，保证了他们能够获胜，而且这是在他回到欧洲之前可以参加这个赛事，也非常的荣幸。同时感谢车队能提供了一辆非常好的车和非常好的服务。Back to you guys.
Well, that had all these stories in it in one fell swoop, didn't it? An amazing battle all the way through, a very dramatic and exciting race. And even when we thought it was over, it wasn't. Dino Beganovic taking the victory from Zagazeta and Barnard. The incident between Mini and Beganovic on the last lap is under investigation. Let's watch it all back and see how it unfolded. Right from the outset, we knew we were going to have wheel-to-wheel battles, and we were not disappointed. Mini versus Beganovic became quite the duel from the outset. Lots of great racing, lots of great duels in the middle of the pack as well. And the gods of racing smiled on Dubai Autodrome this evening. They gave us an amazing duel. Taylor Barnard charging his way through from the back of the grid to the front. There were battles all the way through. And some great argy-bargy, great performances as Taylor Barnard picked them off one by one. Then we had the couple of incidents that brought things a little bit down the line. Levi Revej having technical difficulties, retiring. And then came the incident that brought out the first safety car. Revej is there in pit road looking very sorry for himself, but he managed to recover it at least. And then came this, bang! Sami Magatunev coming wheel-to-wheel with Nikita Bedrin. Both men out of the race, fortunately both unhurt. And the marshals able to clear the wreckage pretty quickly. After the safety car period, it was then Mini versus Beganovic all over again, with Zagazeta hanging on in third, ahead of Kamara and Antonelli. More problems for Brad Benavides. His race ended pretty promptly. But then came the duels. Mini getting his charge to battle away with Beganovic. They came across the line, separated by 14 thousandths of a second. But despite the timing screen thinking the race was over, it wasn't. And they battled and battled and battled again. When the checkered flag came out, the duel had got too close for comfort, and Beganovic had done the deed. But there is still an investigation. It may not be over, but it was certainly thrilling. So an absolute stormer for the final lap of the first race of the season. And this is the provisional podium. Dino Beganovic in front of Matthias Zagazeta and Taylor Barnard, who can't stop grinning. Dead last at the start. Third position. A great comeback. There is still more work to do. 2 races to come tomorrow. Taylor Barnard is the hero of the hour. Matthias Zagazeta starts on a solid P2. But Dino versus Gabrielli is going to be electrifying in 2023. It could be the big rivalry of Formula Regional Middle East 2023. Bring it on, I say. From Feline Wang, from Jake Sanson, from all of us here at Dubai Autodrome, we're just getting started, baby. Come back tomorrow and we'll give you double bubble.